Hey, what's up guys? I'm Skip and you're watching HighVoltsGaming. Today we're going to be taking the GL83 here and we're going to be doing some rock crawling with it. We're over here on the Crawler Central map, but before we actually get started, I just want to do sort of a little small build on this thing, put a couple different parts on, take a couple different parts off. You can see this thing's got a really cool looking big front off-road bumper on it. That thing definitely gets hung up over here on the Crawler Central, so we're going to go ahead and remove both of the bumpers. Get out of there, bumper. You're not going to help us rock crawl, so we don't need you. Front bumper, get out of there as well. Now, in a lot of vehicles, or most times, if you take off the front bumper and you have a hard front impact, you'll actually damage the engine. Usually, it'll damage the engine to the point where it cuts off and quits running just after one hard hit. Right? With this truck, fortunately, it has this small little brace down here on the bottom, which actually, protects the engine, so we actually don't have that problem with this one, luckily. So let's go ahead and take off our side steps as well. And I actually didn't know that about the mods, but somebody let me know down in the comment section below when I was doing one of my other rock crawler build videos. He let me know that's what happened there. I hit a big rock and it just killed the engine. I didn't really know what happened. That was what was going on. You take the bumper off and you can damage the engine. So anyway, that looks pretty good. We got rid of our bumpers there. One thing I did want to add was the paint scheme here. The silver paint scheme is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and throw that on here. I really like it. It's got a bunch of decals here, decals, stickers, whatever you want to call them. Pretty much from all over the world it kind of looks like. There's some English ones. There's definitely some in different languages, right, that I don't read. So really cool, kind of like maybe he drove the truck all over the world, kind of collected stickers as he went or whatever. So that's pretty cool. We don't really need to do anything with the motor or transmission here. We have our high-low selectable differential, or a transfer case, as well as the 5-speed manual trans. That's good to go. Let's see what we have here. We do have coil overs. We can put adjustable coil overs on here. That'll help us tune up our suspension a little bit. We have our steering. Now this is kind of unusual. It actually has like the panhard bars, the front arms for the suspension, and all the even the locked front differential. Well, you always choose the front differential, but I just thought that was kind of neat. Like, you could take off the steering rack if you wanted to. You could take off the panhard bar and just mess up the suspension, but it is there. You could do that if you wanted to. Anyway, one other thing we're going to do is put on the big wheels. They look just like these, but they're bigger. So there we go. Go ahead and put on the rear set, as well as our springs here. We're going to put our adjustable springs on as well. There we go. Now it's really kind of weird. Right here it just says locked front differential, although it does give you the selectable differentials here, and the rear says locking. So this it has locking down here, but it's locked up here, although that is the selectable locking front differential. This one also has a selectable middle diff here. So I'm not sure if that's standard on all vehicles or not. I haven't noticed it on the D series at all, but this vehicle, definitely has that center differential there. So what else do we need to do? We need to put a quick tune on this thing. Let's go ahead and air down the tires. Now, I was testing this thing out, and actually every time I do this, I usually run around 8 to 10 pounds of pressure, and if you do that, it doesn't really squish the tires down or anything. You actually have to go quite a bit lower to actually get the tires to look like they've sort of sunk down. The front one looks down a little bit, but I think it's just in the dirt. But if you do that, if you actually take it down to like 2 pounds here, let's go ahead and apply that, the vehicle becomes extremely unstable, right? You can't actually turn with it. It doesn't go where you want it to go. So that does give you that nice aired down look. I don't know, there might be some sort of sweet spot in here. Maybe, let's try 7 pounds and see how that feels and looks. Really like the look of that aired down tire. It's kind of what I'm going for. It crawls great even at a higher pressure, right? So it's just basically the look of it there. So that definitely looks like it's aired down quite a bit there. We'll go ahead and try 7 pounds here. Now let's go ahead and finish our tuning here. I'm just going to soften this suspension on up, just make it nice and squishy here for us. We're going to set our ride height all the way up. Front spring rate, let's definitely drop that down quite a bit. We're going to drop the rear spring rate down a little bit too. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and go on down with it. That should be pretty good. Our final drive ratio is 6:1, so that's good. You want a high number here, that way you have a low gear ratio, right? If you had a high number, that would be for like a top speed run, right? So for off-road vehicle, you want a high number, which gives you a low gear ratio. So that's exactly what we want. Let's go ahead and apply that. See what our suspension's sitting like now. So definitely got our rear end's definitely squished down here. Let's go ahead and jack up that just a bit. Let's apply that. We're almost sitting down on our back tires back there. That gave us a little bit more. We'll go ahead and see how that does. I think it'll be okay. That front end's jacked way up in there. Well, let me get a better camera here. Front end's definitely still jacked up there quite a bit. We'll have to see if it's real bouncy. I might have to take that front spring rate down a little bit as well. Let's go ahead and lock in our diffs. Front diff, center diff, rear diff, as well as switch it down into low range, switch it into realistic shifting mode. Let's see what we can do. I am using my Xbox One controller today. I definitely like the controller over the wheel for rock crawling, just because you can actually get your camera right where you want it, right, and really check your tire placement. So let's go ahead. We're going to see if we can do some realistic off-roading here. Like I said, I'm going to try not to just bounce this thing all over the place. Trying to take our time, pick our lines here. Use the brakes a little bit so we're not rolling all around. There we go. This thing's definitely a very, very capable vehicle. Does not have a very tight turning radius though. I haven't turned all the way there, and definitely not as good as something like the D series. It doesn't seem anyway. Go ahead and keep on going here. Kind of a little tight section here. Let's see if we can do it without breaking off the mirror. Normally I smash the mirror off on that side rock there. Well, we're breaking something. Front bumper's not helping us anymore. This is a really cool mod. When you hit the lights and stuff, you can bust out the lights and they'll actually fall off if you hit a tree or something. So very, very detailed mod here. I love that we have another off-roader in the game, right? You never have enough off-road vehicles if you ask me. You should definitely have more on-road vehicles and more on-road, style stuff in this game, but I just absolutely love it that we can get out here and do some rock crawling, do some mudding and stuff like that as well. I do wish the mudding was a little bit more realistic, a little bit more spin tires like, right? I'm sure, probably it'll get there at some point. But for now, we're just going to do some rock crawling, some off-roading. I like to try to do some mudding on here, but it doesn't always work out great, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and keep on going here. I did just do a deep water off-roading or a deep water mudding video here on BeamNG.drive, and you guys actually, quite a few of you did watch that video, got some good views, so huge thank you for that for sure. If you haven't seen it, I'll make sure I leave a link down in the description below. I say that, sometimes I forget. I'm super sorry about that, guys, if I do. But I try to leave those links in there. I'm kind of getting a little bouncy there. Let's go ahead. I want to go ahead and air these tires down some more and loosen up that front suspension. Oh, that's not what we want. We want our vehicle config here. Let's go to tuning. Like I said, we're going to drop this air pressure on down. Let's go to 4 pounds. That looks pretty good. 4 pounds, and we're going to take this front spring pressure. I'm going to go on down with it a little bit more. There we go. And apply that. Let's see what she looks like now. Front end is still jacked up to the moon. That's all right. Let's go ahead and roll with it here. Are we still in realistic shifting mode? No, we weren't. And we're no longer locked in. I keep on forgetting about that. Every time you reset the vehicle, you got to relock in the diffs. You got to select it back into low range here. All right, let's keep on rolling here. You guys let me know if you want to see some more rock crawling videos here on BeamNG. Definitely make it happen for you. Always love to see new mods like this hit that we can do some rock crawling, some off-roading with for sure. This thing is just no problem at all. We need to get a little more of a hardcore sort of section here. See what this thing can really do. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can go down into this kind of rough place here. Let's see if we can climb that hill. Now, you see there, that front bumper would definitely have stopped us there. Oh no! Oh man, we've messed up now. Go ahead and see if we can pull it back over. Uh-oh. Yep, there goes our jack. Not gonna be using that for anything. Flip over here, truck. There we go. All right, let's see if we can keep it going here. I do just want to. Well, I said I'm gonna try to stick with the same vehicle, but I've just reset it when we put those new parts on it here. Those air down tires seem to be working no problem. Although that might be one reason why we don't have very much turning radius. I'm not sure. This truck really doesn't seem like it has a lot of turning radius. But the air down tires might be sort of making it worse for us anyway. Whoa, there goes a flat tire. We are not going to do good with that. We'll see how it keeps going. We'll just keep going with it here, see what it does. Alright, good. I was hoping that wasn't one of those bushes that just crushes the front of your vehicle when you touch it. Now you can see there we're definitely sitting a lot lower, right? Definitely have a flat tire now. I love BeamNG for its realism here. You get a flat tire on there, you know that thing is flat. The suspension is definitely sitting down. It's sitting down there on the wheel. Really, really cool. Super realistic game here. If you guys don't play some BeamNG, I highly, highly recommend it. If you're into any sort of gaming at all, any sort of off-roading, this is a game to pick up for sure. You do need a kind of a good PC to run it probably, but well worth it, right? Well worth it. Alright, let's see what we can do here. I think we've pretty much beat on this little Toyota long enough. You guys let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Honestly, I've been trying to do a video with this truck for the last couple days now, and every time the video's messed up some way. The last one that I did just today, when I got the truck built, got to the off-road section, it wouldn't let me select my differentials. So I wasn't able to lock it in. I'm like, what? This is ridiculous. So I just decided to go ahead and do it again. So hopefully this is an alright video. It might be a little bit different from my norm. So anyways, you guys definitely let me know what you think about this video, about this mod down in the comment section below. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm Skip, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.